I'm Matt Morocco, a Chicago-based industrial designer. My previous Kickstarter was I Draw Cars Sketchbook and Reference Guide. In my mind, it was going to be just for design kids who want to be able to draw cars, but it turns out that there's this whole other group of people who want to be creative. I had the thought that maybe comics would be a good idea just because of the sheer amount of people that could benefit from something like this. When I called Ryan to say, hey, is there any books like this one? And I kind of explained what I Draw Cars was, and he said no.
I'm Ryan Stegman, and I draw comic books for Marvel Comics. Comic books are like between animation and illustration almost. There's just something that I love about the immediacy of the drawings and the action, the way the action is portrayed. Me personally, I always followed my favorite artist, but I know that other guys, a lot of fans follow stories, which I can also see, and the stories are very strong, and you just become attached to a character and you just follow them forever.
I've seen lots of comic illustration, instruction books, and the problem is that they all show you what awesome looks like, but they don't show you how to be awesome. A book that can kind of help you along, so by the end, you've achieved this confidence that you can, illustrate a figure or a face. That's the thing.
Comic books is a lot about figure drawing. It's basically being able to draw everything all the time. Like at any moment you'll be told to draw something that you've never drawn before and you have to be able to do it. And to be able to do that, you have to know how to use perspective. It's just, you need to have a groundwork, and that's what we tried to put in here.
If you're a beginner just starting out, it gives you some comic industry background. Then we go into perspective, so 1, 2, and 3-point perspective. We go into proportion, the human body, proportion of the human head, faces, and then we go into layout, teaching you how to navigate the page, how to logically lay out your comic page, make it readable. We go into composition, and then we end with storytelling. So in the end, you should be able to hopefully tell your own story with your characters and illustrate it.
My name's Mike Norton. I'm a comic book artist. I draw lots of comic books. I do comics for Image Comics, Marvel, DC. I do my own comic called Battle Pug that I publish at Dark Horse Comics. As soon as I got my first writing tablet, I drew little comic books in it. It was just pretty much I had to learn my own way and just pay attention to a lot of comic books that were already out there and learn how to draw the old-fashioned way. I've been doing this since I was 5 years old. I've had 30 years of practice. I mean, you really have to do it over and over and over again, and that's what you do.
You have to practice. So practice in your sketchbook, practice, in your textbook at school, practice anywhere you can, have a sketchbook on you at all times to practice in. That's what's going to make you better.
A funny thing is that by doing this book, by creating the templates, I had to work within my own templates. I honestly believe that I was a little bit better at drawing after I did this. I genuinely believe that if somebody sits down and draws in this and completes it from beginning to end and does all the practice, they will be a significantly better artist.
It's like a workbook. It's on-the-job training, basically. It teaches you how to do it while you're doing it, so that's kind of what I like about it. I think it's pretty cool. I kind of wish I had one of these when I was learning how to draw.
So we're really excited about this project. Pledge for these books. Thank you, Kickstarter.